The first of few chapters of Roth's books, introductory lections of psychoanalytics, are about that he called parapraxis and what's his term, so that now he knows as Freud sleeps. Again, here is another example of something that's part of pop culture, and it seems post interestingly between that the cake to be an established part of knowledge about ourselves. On the own hand, and fiction and methodology, urban legends, and so on. That's might or might not be subject to empirical validation. The concept of trodden sleep is such a part of contemporary culture that, for example, there is a lingerie shop in Oregon, I believe in Portland, USA, that is called the Frozen Sleeps, and the potential customers surely get the reference, the double meaning of that. So it is charismatic part of modern thought that here are these sleeps. For example, then Freud talk about this is Freud reflects to as drugs on sorts of phenomena. But I think rightly he point out, let's now understand, say a small introduction, and here's that respect, I think he is right. Just as at about the same time that we now refer to as foreign sneak science that's getting its start. 100 years ago, early part on the 20th century, in probably that have been found silly to, for example, look for fingerman clippings or fingerships, or beads or hair or bits of fiber from some bodies, cloths around a crime science. But now the whose things are incredibly curical, likewise Freud says rightly so. I think that there is nothing illegitimate scientifically about looking for relatively small aspects that would seem like trivial aspects of human behavior. Perhaps he is right about that. Then he gives many examples, including one in which a speaking person, a toast or honor, and ceremonial occasion calls when his audience to his cup to the judgment that outstban the health of chief, the both of same origin. There is he presumably entertained to ask his audience to toast each outband. Here, death of chief Freud's also sisters and the historical case and in which the president of Germany's loves house of parliaments then to open production proceedings with what's the translate to English as gentlemen. I take notes that I full quorum of members present and horribly declare the sitting close, I mean open. Then there he entreated to disclaim, then open interview the wrong word came out. Likewise, of usage on YouTube with Tom's likes. Here is fraud sleeps on the news. Those lot your too many hours of others cleans in which news cake and other public figures tribes over the words with cute embracing results. One famous case that long time mayor of Chicago, Mayor Delay, who said in news confused a policeman isn't there is to credit discard. Policeman is there to preserve discard, not presumably that he conductorily intended to say. Frauds also puts onto the general public of parapraxis case misselling something confusing one things with another, forgetting, for instance. So then you keep one foraging, forget it to do something, you keep on forgetting somebody's name. He thinks that here is might be an explanation of that comes from someone aspect of that happens with you at the universe level. For instance, take an example in which you have a message from one old friends and a mail perhaps what you just keep on meaning so to forget to respond to, and that old friends might be, if you're there to think about it, you might notice that old friends might be from a period of your life that you have been trying to put behind you. Perhaps you've moved on to other things and getting into much that old friends might be frauds a little bit with feelings of danger or discomfort, and nonetheless you might not ask no village that confusingly. You might cite yourself this week forgot to respond, and another week's guys by you intended but never go to it. Once you're always from your computer or your phone, you forgot it once again. You thought once again that you should respond to the friends, but once back in front of you, technology something also keeps on distraction you. Weeks go by until the potate at which you feel guilty about now long. That is he saying, I can't, perhaps none of us can directly observe this unicorn phenomena at last until they are able to bring them up to confuse experience, but that doesn't mean we can't hype sells them that as the last, given the scientific tools that the believable a century ago we could directly experience the moment of the plots that their thoughts to be suggested by some sunset to be things that might of the earth crust. Nevertheless, we can ourselves the presence to help explain phenomena. In some respects, I think there is respect in his writing frauds which back and for between say things that are perfectly legitimate and responsible, and they'll supposed by the evidence and other things that are perhaps less so. He has bit objectively and high character to these rings There is aspects of that he has to say Stirks means perfectly, dear Jackie and like, and not the Mr. Hugh like. That is so say Jackie like in the sense that he says here is an evidence, here is the hypothesis. I want to often to explain the evidence, and let's go and see whether they can from some experience that mind supposed to whose future. To that extent, in seems to that he says is perfectly legitimate.